How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yes.
Um, this is still sealed. It's still literally got cellophane on it.
I did. I'm trying to figure out how to or where to save it.
What we're doing now? We're doing. Are you waiting for me?
Yes.
I was waiting for you. And what we're doing next?
I think we said holidays and traditions.
Okay. Okay.
Megacast TV, your channel of choice.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Megacast TV. My name's Jake and I'm joined as always by my co-host from across the pond, the gorgeous Beth. Good evening, Beth. How are you?
Ooh, I'm good. How are you? I'm gorgeous.
Gorgeous, Beth. Yes. I'm very well indeed. Thank you very much. What have you been up to? It's been a while.
It has been a while. The weather, we got 2 wonderful days here of beautiful weather. It was about 60 degrees Fahrenheit here. Not sure what that equates to in Celsius, but pretty warm.
Okay, so 60 degrees Fahrenheit is 15 degrees Celsius, which is a typically warm summer's day here in the UK.
Yeah, so it definitely melted most of our snow. So pretty happy about that in March.
So we were discussing tonight patriotism.
Right.
And we do know how very, very patriotic America is.
We are.
You're very patriotic, aren't you? So do you want to start us off?
Sure. So I definitely feel like I am very patriotic. I served our country, America. I served in the Army for 9 years. And again, that was just something that here we're not forced to do or anything, but that was something I wanted to do for my country. And, I think maybe for Americans, we do feel this strong sense of patriotism as we broke away from, Great Britain, and we celebrate the 4th of July. It's always a big deal. We have lots of flags we put out in our yards, even like little mini flags. I line my driveway and my sidewalk with American flags. And I found out that's not very common over in England for you guys to, kind of put your flags out.
Not at all, no. I don't know who you've been talking to, but no, we have. I mean, obviously the UK is split into England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales, and I forgot to actually include St Andrew in my little notes that I've made. So each nation of the United Kingdom has their own saint.
Oh,
which is like their national sort of patron, if you like.
okay.
So Scotland has St Andrew, England has St George,
Okay.
Ireland has St Patrick, and Wales has St David.
Okay. And that's where the typical Irish, like St. Patrick's Day, right? That comes
St Patrick's Day comes from. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And we don't really celebrate. Well, in England, for sure, we don't really celebrate St David's Day. I think it's somewhere in May. I think St David's Day. But you know how patriotic the Irish are, so they definitely do celebrate St Patrick's Day. The only other thing here in the UK that we do celebrate, and I think I've mentioned this before on previous shows, is the Queens Jubilee. So we might have street parties. I know there's big street parties planned this year for the Platinum Jubilee, which is in 2022. I think that's happening in June.
Okay.
The first Jubilee happened in 1962. The Silver Jubilee happened in 1977. The Golden Jubilee happened in 2002, and the Diamond Jubilee happened in 2012. So there were celebrations both on TV and in media and across the UK regarding the Queen and how long she's been sat on the throne. Yeah, so that's the only real times that we get kind of, patriotic, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, here in America, obviously the big one, 4th of July or Independence Day. That's a big one. Lots of fireworks, barbecues, parades. That's a big one. And then we'll do other ones like Veterans Day, which I believe we share the same day. It's November 11th.
We don't call that Veterans Day. We call it Remembrance Sunday,
Okay.
which is a little bit more toned down. It's not something we go out and party about. It's something that we lay wreaths at the epitaphs, and we remember the fallen soldiers and those who fought for us in both World War One and World War Two. So it's quite a, what's the word I'm looking for?
Is that more like a somber?
Somber day. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So we have that element too, but it seems like, America, we can't just stop there, right? Like we celebrate it. We'll have like school assemblies where maybe veterans will come in and speak to some of the young kids. Also, a lot of restaurants will throw free dinners out for veterans as long as you show your military ID. You get free dinner or free drinks and things of that nature. So it's definitely a day to be honored.
Okay. The only other day we do celebrate nationally in England particularly, I'm not sure if it happens in Scotland and certainly not in Ireland or Wales, is Guy Fawkes Night, or Bonfire Night, as it's actually officially called. I think I've discussed that with you before about, Guy Fawkes planning to blow up the House of Parliament, and we celebrate the fact that he failed. So that's on the 5th of November. But you guys are quite patriotic even about Halloween, aren't you?
Yeah, and so other holidays, like you said, Halloween taken pretty seriously. Adults and kids dress up quite often and go trick-or-treating. Valentine's Day, it's big candy day. Like millions of dollars spent in America on some traditional holidays.
You see, Valentine's Day is more a chocolates and flowers kind of day here. Do you know what I mean? Big boxes
Right.
of chocolates and big bunches of flowers. Particularly, a dozen red roses is favoured on Valentine's Day here in the UK.
Sure.
So if you're going to send your loved one something, that would be the ultimate treat, would be a dozen red roses, just to show them your love. Is there anything else? Boxing Day. Oh, you don't have Boxing Day as such as like we do you? You don't call it Boxing Day for a start, do you?
No, we don't have that. I know that is popular only because we're really close to, well, I am really close to Canada, and that is a Canadian term too. And sometimes I'll get Canadian radio stations, so I'll hear that advertised as Boxing Day. But my understanding, it's just a big like clearance day or a day of sales to go shopping.
Right. Okay. That does happen here in the UK, but it's also a day of maybe sort of an extension of Christmas. So it might be a time of year that families get together, and you might see families that you haven't, or members of the family that you haven't necessarily seen on Christmas Day. You might make the effort to see them on Boxing Day. So it might extend to the larger families. And quite often, like public houses will have discos for the kids, where all the families will go and they'll, have a little boogie for the children and celebrate that kind of thing. I know it definitely did happen in the 80s. Maybe it's not happening so much now, but it definitely happened when I was a nipper. Do you have any memories like that of when you were kids, or times that you've got together?
Yeah, definitely. It was Christmas Eve for us, which was the day before Christmas. Knowing that Santa Claus is coming, that build up, the anticipation, very exciting. It feels something in the air. And we would go to my grandma's house, and all the cousins, kind of how you described, the aunts and uncles and cousins, and everybody would come together, and we would eat and have some punch, and kids would run around, and there's just, bugging our parents every 10 minutes. Can we open presents now? And the end of the night would come, and then, yeah, we'd rip through all the presents in a matter of, gosh, probably 2 minutes, and just play with our stuff that we got from our aunts and uncles and have fun, and then have to hurry up and go home because Santa would be coming. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, wow. And I know obviously that your husband's Italian. So does he talk to you about how they celebrated Christmas when they were younger, or?
It's really kind of the same customs because he's a second generation. So
Right.
he's been here, but yeah, it seems all really similar. I know I think the only custom that my husband has that really caught me off guard was they kiss everybody on the lips, and even the men, and that really threw me off. So the first time I met my father-in-law, we were at a baseball game, and we were already there sitting down, and my husband stood up to greet his father and kissed him on the lips in front of everybody at this baseball game in the stadium. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? I had no idea of this custom. It just really threw me off.
Okay. So something on that, we probably kiss on both cheeks here in the UK. Probably one cheek, probably one cheek most of the time. But if it was something like a funeral or a wedding or something special, a special occasion, we might do both cheeks. But
Okay.
definitely not on the lips. No, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. And obviously that's something that, because he's an American Italian,
Right.
so that's something that every American Italian will do traditionally, I assume.
Right. If they still practice their customs, they do. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But over here in America, we don't do the kissing on the cheek. We just maybe do a hug or like a side hug even, or now I think we're kind of even totally getting away from that, like the fist bump, or really personal space is becoming a bigger deal.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're not a huggy kind of nation.
No, we're getting away from that. The big thing seems to be kind of teaching our kids that I think was really traditional, like with our family, go give Uncle Tommy a hug, and I was kind of like, I don't want to, go do it, that type of thing. And now it's really advocating like, well, kids should have that freedom to, if they don't want to not. So that seems to be a real big push lately.
Right, okay. It's not something you're forced to do here in the UK, but it's something that you grow up is kind of doing. So everybody does it, I guess, when you're growing up,
Right.
And you always get the hairy lips grandma or great grandma, do you know what I mean? With it sticks in your, go to kiss her and it sticks in your face. With the
Porcupine grandma.
Yeah. Well, Beth, it's been an absolute pleasure tonight talking about that. I've absolutely loved it. I don't know when this show is going to air because I've got so many to backlog now, so much backlog that we're going to get these shows going out regularly now because we can. But next week here, right at this moment, we will be talking about our friend Vanessa is going to join us, and she's going to be walking with autism, which she does every year. She talked to us last year about it, and we've invited her back to talk to us about it this year as well. So she'll be with us at some point to talk about that as well. On that note, I'm going now. Bye.
Toodles.
Megacast TV.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Yes. I did. I'm trying to figure out how to or where to save it.
What we're doing now? We're doing. Are you waiting for me?
Yes.
I was waiting for you. And what we're doing next?
I think we said holidays and traditions.
Okay.
Megacast TV, your channel of choice.